the lovely, amazing women in the west end of Canada. Uh, Thank you all so much for being here this morning or this afternoon. My name is Natalie, and I'm the founder and CEO of Happy Healthy Women. And I am so excited to have such an incredible woman and leader and mentor and friend and partner here with me today. Hi, Terri. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Natalie.
So for those of you who don't know Terri, and I mean, if you've been part of Happy Healthy Women for, even 2 minutes, you may know of this incredible woman. She is such an amazing leader. She is on the West Coast. She is in Coquitlam, BC. She leads all of the amazing leaders in BC there. And she is also the founder of an awesome company called There Is Another Way. And, Terri is all things health and wellness, all things leadership, all things business, and so in alignment with Happy Healthy Women. And so when I tell you how much this woman means to Happy Healthy Women, I can't even it's like an understatement. But Terri, I'm so glad you're here today, and I'm really excited to talk about something that we don't normally talk about, which is kids. I mean, we're always usually talking about ourselves and growing ourselves, but today we're gonna talk about kids a bit. But before we do that, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and share a little bit more about you?
Sure. Well, Natalie, thank you for the lovely introduction, but we all know this is not possible without you and your inspiration, your vision. And I love so much of your growth. So I am totally in alignment with everything that you do. And I really I really do love Happy Healthy Women so much that it's really allowed me to step into what, I call my superpower, which is I'm in the business of building flourishing communities. And Happy Healthy Women is a large part of that. Our branch out here has, close to 800 members now, and we're growing, but I really truly believe that if you can empower women, we can make change in our community, and then the community's stronger, and then the city's stronger, and you see how it goes, right? And so I would not have found this part of myself if I hadn't been a part of Happy Healthy Women. And that's now spiraled into what I do also is I have a business with Arbonne, and I love what I do there because I change community at a very family-focused level. So by changing one household at a time to safer, cleaner products, it's better for the planet, but also for the families and communities. And then if we're stronger as communities and healthier, we can do more. Do you see it? And then and now just at this cusp where I believe that there's another way to look at how we network. There's another way to how we look at our career and our nutrition and our life. But there's also another way to look at how we shop, how we consume. And then also I'm a wig wearer. So there's another way to look at women's hair loss, because I think it's one of the things we don't talk about. And so, when you talk to me today about, what are we going to talk about today? I'm like, well, I use Happy Healthy Women really as my own personal therapy session, because whatever I'm going through, we kind of talk about. And I have a 10-year-old daughter, and 10-year-old girls go through a lot of change. And, now I'm just going to say, first of all, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare professional. I am by no means the expert in this field, but I'm real living it. So when we live it, we kind of just share. And that's what we do best, is we share what I'm doing. Does this sound good? Does this sound good to you? Here's what I found work. And that's basically what I thought we'd talk about today.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. What a great topic. And I think what you're talking about is so important in terms of blending conscious consumerism with health and wellness and with that of our families, right? Like that's so key. And so we're teaching kids like more than just put on deodorant, right? Like there's so much more to it. There's a whole incredible lifestyle that comes along with that.
So. It does. And there's a window of time I think it works. So my background before all of this, I was a sweaty Tom girl, like literally from all my life. And my mom, God love her, she was worried I was going to be sweaty and have horrible skin for all of my life, because all I did was play sports and sweat. So I learned at a very early age skincare regime. And now I'm 52, and there's got to be something to that about starting off teaching to take care of your skin and your health really well in the beginning, because then that plays a factor, other than today when I'm dealing with a head cold and my eyes are running and all of this. But normally it's such a key part. So I learned at a very early age, but not a lot of people think to talk about skincare and taking care of yourself right away. So I thought we would share and talk about that today.
Yeah. So let's dig into this. So
Okay.
this, your own experience has brought you to this place of knowing the importance of this for other people
Right.
in multiple ways. So yeah, let's talk about what that journey is looking like right now and how you are, enforcing these great habits into your kids.
Okay, so my daughter is 10 and she happens to be taller, on the taller side, and her body's probably developing, I'd say, on par to early to normal in development when I talk around her peers that she's with or other girls with daughters. But here's the thing I'm going to trigger to you is what we first noticed as she's start to go through puberty is that her body odor changed. So
Mm,
the first thing that we started to talk about was taking care of ourselves and knowing about hygiene and just that smell when we start to see that smell. So I don't know if you guys in COVID, but we don't bath every day. We never been that kind of family where you had to absolutely bath and shower every day because the skin needs a natural oil turnover. We don't need to shower every day, except in the summer when there's a lot of play outside. But normally she goes 2 to 3 days without showering. And so deodorant. So of course, obviously, I'm going to show you all Arbonne products because that is what we do and we've incorporated in our home. So we use our shea butter deodorant. And that was something just every day by her sink. I had it sitting out and it becomes hers. So there's such
mm,
a big thing with young girls of having their own grown up things and having their own stuff for them. So I purposely got her own deodorant and sits by her toothbrush and it's kind of starts to be part of her habit. So she has probably been wearing deodorant almost a year.
yeah.
And nowadays, like we get up, she kind of has this routine that I'll talk to you about, but she gets up and she puts her own deodorant on, brushes her teeth. She kind of had a little checklist to begin with, almost like one of those on the mirrors that she would just refer to a checklist and she'd start with
Mm,
deodorant and brush her teeth. Well, now it's grown a bit more. So now the other thing that we do is having some type of body spray or something. Like Arbonne came out in our Christmas line, the Sugar Amber. We also have another one that's another body spray that obviously has no chemicals, no phthalates, and no parabens in it. Like the other thing, I think the big thing, and I'm going to talk about this at the Prosper Summit in a couple of weeks, but if there's anything, ladies, that you look at for your own skincare and your own kids is to look at things that don't have parabens or phthalates. Those are the two top ones that they affect us in our endocrine system so much. So I know girls like all those things that are at Juicy or at Shoppers Drug Mart that have beautiful, colorful labels and that have all these smells. But all those things, they're already about to start their journey with changing hormonally. That when you start to affect the endocrine system, which is everything related to your sexual health development, your um, everything, hair development, it's anything
yeah.
dealing with that, is that find something that has none of those ingredients and then a body spray is nice. So this one sits now beside her deodorant and she sprays her chest every day. They like it because it's a nice, and it's all fun and they start the day and they feel good. We all need
Yeah.
to feel good, right? So those are kind of the two staples. And now my son, who is 8, if you have siblings, the best form of peer pressure is he's now started. And ladies, I don't have an older 15-year-old son, but I'm assuming it's going to be a lot harder to teach them about doing deodorant than starting them when they already get into a habit at 8. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
yeah, they won't even notice that transition into when their body really changes really well because he's already starting to wear his deodorant.
And also, like, I think that so first of all, that
Yeah,
deodorant is the most fantastic thing I've ever used.
so good.
Like,
Yeah,
that's the best part of my workout, I will say, because it literally, like, it's clean. There's no garbage in it, and it keeps you fresh during
yeah.
like boot camp workout, a hot, sweaty boot camp workout. So if it's good for me during a hot, sweaty boot camp workout, and you, Terry, then it's
Yeah.
good for teens going through hormones. Yeah,
Yes.
um,
And
but so good.
it doesn't contain any aluminum. So I read a little bit about aluminum and all of that. And, you know, aluminum, it just actually it gets absorbed and it's been linked to breast cancer in some of the situations. And there's not a direct link, but there's showing signs and data and that just find a deodorant that doesn't have any aluminum in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a really important skill, I think, to teach kids too, right? From an
Yeah.
early age is we're going to read labels together because you need to know, you
Right.
need to be empowered too about what to use and what not to. So fantastic. So
Yeah.
what else can you tell us about
Well, have
how you're, yeah.
so another thing that's happened is, I had pictures up, but I'm probably not going to be able to show you too. Have you heard of the bumps, the little white bumps that kids sometimes get on their arm and patches. Sometimes they're on their thigh, sometimes they're on their arm. And that's, it's called keratosis pilaris. And so all that means is it's a protein buildup in the body. And what it does is it breaks and bumps the hair follicle. And so what happens is you get these little bumps. And so she kind of was picking at them one day and looking at them and going, what is this? And I said, well, let's Google and let's find out about it. Because I always heard as young, it's too much cheese. That's probably what my mom told me, just so that I would stop eating so much cheese. But it got these bumps. And so she didn't like them. She felt so uncomfortable. She started to pick. And as you pick, then you have bleeding. And so we said, well, let's learn how we can deal with this properly. And so another way to treat it is to use tea tree oil. So a tea tree oil with your hand lotion or body lotion that you use, and you put more oil than pump. And I just rub them morning and night consistently. And there's been a dramatic difference in that. Normally you grow out of this keratosis like by the time you're 30, but it's just a self-conscious thing. So this is such a easy, non-toxic way to do this that you can rub morning and night. Now it's part of her routine. It's on her checklist that she has to do.
Love it.
Right? And then the other thing is now she's starting to get breakouts right around her nose because she's sweaty. They run around, they play. And so the big thing now sitting beside her deodorant, her toothpaste is now a cleanser. And I'm going to talk to you about go mild, mild, mild. Like all they need to really do is wash their face. The body's, if you're not using a clean line of body care, when you go to put it on your face, you can actually start to do more damage and dry their face out more. So what I'd say is if you're going to invest, like start with a good, gentle skincare wash. And that's all you need to start it. Even just washing your face consistently, nighttime for sure, not necessarily morning because they don't really, at night they don't sweat, but in the morning, at night, after every day, it makes such a big difference. Those little breakouts go away. And then there's so many other things that now we're just having fun with is, we do a mask probably every 2 weeks and it's fun. It's a Saturday, we hang out, we watch a YouTube video, they dry and they love this because this actually has French clay. It's French clay and it's so hydrating, but what it does is all those dry skin and it just helps to clean their pores and just cleans it and it's gentle. So I know some of these people phone me, I've done this charcoal mask on my daughter and it's almost too harsh and they've ripped off too much skin. So the thing that I want to talk about is go slow, but your child's going to tell you, their body's going to tell you when you need to up your game with them. Does that make kind of sense?
Yeah.
So a cleanser and then, have fun, add a mask. And then from there, hydration. So we have this line called our Super Calm line. And my daughter today puts it on and we watch the Weather Network and we talk about that. And she puts it all around her nose and around her mouth. And that just keeps her hydrated. And so and the hydration is half the battle. Their skin is just like our skin and it needs hydration, but less is more.
Yeah.
I could talk forever. So how are we doing on time? Sorry.
No, we're good for time. We're good. I mean, one of the things that I love about this, Terri, is that you're not just, obviously you're using great products with your kids. You're showing them how to use toxin-free but you're also instilling so many other things, so many other ways of thought, right? Self-care, so important for both males and females, right? It's not just like for girls, right? Taking care of ourselves. And also that education behind what we're picking and choosing and how we're voting with our dollars in our world, right? Because I'm sure this becomes conversation.
It does, because she needs to know she's worth taking care of. Like in our businesses with Arbonne is that how many women come to me and they go, I don't even do a say wash my face. And I'm like, that's okay, but you're worth it. You're worth that 10 minutes to hydrate, to take time. Something about even touch right now, there's not a lot of touching in the world happening, not a lot of hugs and stuff. Even practicing your self-care with skincare, there's a nourishing, there's a hands-on system, and it's just positive all around. So teaching my daughter she's worth putting cream on, feeling good about herself. Every day she smiles. At the end of the day, she stands in front of the mirror and she's like, yay. And she just kind of sets herself for the day and she goes out the door and it's like, okay, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. And that I feel is going to extend into so many other areas. I know that, as soon as I started getting a paycheck as a young girl and like just having my own money, I was like at the drugstore all the time, like dropping hundreds of dollars on all of these products that I had no idea what was in them. Right. And and they just sat under my counter, like under my sink for years.
Yes. And so if you can
Yeah.
get your kids early, then they won't be tempted about going to Shoppers Drug Mart and buying 10 different masks. And then they try 10 different masks and then their skin breaks out because
Right.
it's been over treated or it's been too harsh or too dramatic. And so if I can lay, what I feel is if I can lay those foundations now about educating her on less is more, keep it simple, look at your skin, what does your skin need versus reacting and just going to get anything, right? She won't
Yeah.
because she's growing up in an Armand house that she really won't even care about whatever it is, but she will, but I hope she can educate her friends too and just say, hey, we don't need that, just do this. And she will feel confident.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's so many things.
yeah.
It's so many things. It's health, it's hygiene, it's empowerment, it's the right habits. It's so many things. So I love
Right.
this.
And so when she starts to have breakouts, then we can come back and I can talk another time about just the little things that we're doing to get ahead of the acne and the hormonal production and the oil production and how we can do that now. And having the mask is a great place to start. And that, in a year, I'll share more of my story in adventure, I'm sure, about what happens next with my son and that kind of thing. But
Love it. Love it. Well, I find it so interesting, and I don't have kids, like human kids, but but I still think it's such an important thing that, for the next generation. So thank you for sharing all of that.
And one of the things that I love to do now is mother-daughter events because
Ooh.
the moms, and I do it virtually, is that, oh, I think we froze. Oh, we're frozen. Uh-oh. I'll just talk. Hopefully I'm not frozen. I do mother-daughter events. And because the mothers sit back and they listen too, but when there's something about washing your face together side by side with your daughter and or son and washing the face together, they see you do it and then they learn to do it. And so that to me is such a good learning. So we wash our face together, we do, and we talk about it, and I educate along the way. Oh. Yeah, I kept talking. I don't know, you were frozen, but I kept talking.
On my end, you were frozen. So, okay, go ahead and let us know what you were just saying.
Okay, so I was just saying about I do these mother-daughter events because there's something about kind of washing your face together with your daughter, showing, role modeling what it looks like. And I have a lot of moms that sit in the back go, oh, I didn't know that. And they learn what to feed or reinforce with their daughter when they talk about skincare together. And so so it's good. We do lots of events, we educate, and then sometimes hearing it from somebody else other than your mother also makes a big difference. So if there's something that you guys want to do that you're interested in, you can either reach out to Natalie and I, but we could do it together, I'd love to do a mother-daughter event. So if that's something you have, even just your daughter and her 2 or 3 best friends, we do it over Zoom. We talk about things. I send some samples in the mail, and then we just have you try and we talk about skincare. And it's such a fun afternoon of having fun.
I love it. So awesome. And Terri, tell us how we can find more of you. So obviously the Coquitlam branch, add you somewhere. Go for it.
Yeah, and then I'm on Instagram at There's Another Way 1. So you can find me there if you can find me under my name too. And yeah, and Facebook.
Love it.
Those things, right? You can definitely find me there. Yeah, and just reach out. My email's at terri@there'sanotherway.ca.
Awesome. So for all things product-wise, or if you just want to talk about like getting your kids on track, talk with Terri. She is the one to speak to on this. And also, I would say like check out her branch, Coquitlam. And there's also our South Surrey branch as well in BC. And those 2 ladies, Terri and Meg, are just doing phenomenal things out in BC. So definitely check out their branches and attend their events. I spoke to someone yesterday that is here in Ontario, and she was like, yeah, no, that BC branch is my home. She's like, I love it there. And I was like, fabulous. That makes me so happy. So you can go anywhere.
And we have lots of people now because coming to Happy Healthy Women, all of the branches are free. And even if you're a Wellpreneur Club member, that's even better. But you can join every branch. So if you're looking to connect with women, go to any branch and join any event that they're having, and you can connect. We have women from different countries. We had Costa Rica join. We had United States. We have, and so I have to now say, hi, introduce yourself and where you're from, because we just have so many different people joining. It's fantastic.
So amazing. I love you, Terri. Thank you
I
for
love
being
you
such an incredible leader in Happy Healthy Women. And for those of you who are watching and you're thinking, well, I should be a leader in Happy Healthy Women.
Yes.
You should. We want you to join us. So come be a part of this. Go to hhwglobal.com. I'd be putting my links up here, but this site is not liking us today. So I am unable to do that. But hhwglobal.com and check us out. Thank you, Terri. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.